So the horse that is difficult to catch often gets handled from the same side, right? And they usually have one side that's a little more bashful than the other. So work the good side, whatever that side is, till you get the halter on. And then it's really important that you work both sides of the horse so that they become desensitized and confident of your body position being on either side of them. So this horse is real comfortable with me on the left. We got him caught, real smart about utilizing that body language and having that connection there. But now that I have the rope, the halter on him, I'm gonna make him be a little more respectful of my space, and then I'm gonna work on this side of the horse quite a bit, right? What I want him to think that he's fairly loose. I don't wanna keep him just right next to me and pulling his head towards me all the time, but I do wanna make him stay on this side where I can work, getting him more comfortable being on the right side. What happens here is if they get handled on the left a lot, they'll get bashful over here. So when you start riding them, then they don't work as good on one side as the other. So it's just like everything we do with the horse, it needs to be done equally on both sides. So now I'll ask him to go around me. See how he's kind of jumpy? I'm just gonna let him travel around. Light contact on his nose. And I don't want him to stop and face me until I ask him to. He's doing it just out of confusion. He's like, what do you want me to do here? Do you want me to stop and come to you? Do you want me to keep running? And I'm just gonna let him kind of ease around here to where he gets comfortable with me walking towards his hip, not make a big deal out of it when he stops, but yielding to that pressure of my body position and getting him out of my space. There, he went the whole way around with no hesitations. Now, instead of pulling him towards me, I'm just gonna step out in front of him and see if he'll stop. To where I don't have to physically force him to look at me. That was a good response. As soon as I stepped off of that pressure point and got in front of him, he wanted to face up. Now at this stage, I'm practicing putting the halter on, or I'm practicing approaching him without him leaving. So I want to go to this side, see how he wants me on his left. I'm not going to let that happen. I'm going to keep his nose to the other side, and I'm going to walk right to the point of his shoulder. And I'm going to stay right there. Make him accept that. Let him know that once I get there, it's going to be a pleasant experience. There's nothing bad going to happen over here. I want to be able to pet him on the forehead. Run that hand down the muzzle, right? Let him smell you. Let him feel your hand down his chest. I'm going to go back a little bit towards his back and his hips. The other thing that this is doing is it's getting him ready for me to be on his back where he can't see me as well all the time. Desensitizing. I want to work down those legs. I want him to let me put my hand all the way down his leg, even pick his foot up if he'll let me. Just hold it a second and then let it down. Everything on this side. See when I put my hands up how he overreacted to that? And he needs to not do that. It's no big deal. He's a little flighty there, so we're just going to take some time and desensitize him. See how he wants me to be on this side of him? He's a lot more comfortable. So I'll go back over to the other side. Start where we left off. Okay, so he was pretty comfortable until I raised my hands up, wasn't he? So now I'll just keep him on this side and act like I'm waving to the neighbors. Hi, how you doing? Nothing going on over here. See how he wants to just keep working around, trying to get me to the other side of him. And it's okay. pretty bashful there. He thought something was coming. And it's just my hand out here that he's nervous about, right? Once he figures out that that's not a bad deal, he'll quit responding that way. So, point being, you want to make sure that horse is comfortable with you on both sides of him, and he respects your space where you can stay in a safe place no matter where you are, working around or on the back of your horse.